Yo, what's going on? Back with another video, and as you can see as a title, I did pass 200K challenge, 200K FTMO challenge, and I passed it a lot sooner than I thought. So that's why there wasn't no like series and stuff like that. But so, anyways, I'm gonna get right into it. I'm gonna show you guys all the trades and breakdowns and kind of like how I passed the challenge. And it was really just these trades right here, all these positions. It was like six positions, a total of four trades. Um, and yeah, so boom, let's get right into the video. So as you can see, this is the curve of equity curve right here. 20K swing account, MT5. Uh, yeah, so everything now, I'm just waiting for the trading days. Other than that, it's pretty much good to go. I'm show you guys this trade right here. This is all one trade, but I entered on two positions. So if we go over to the charts, so just to preface, a lot of these charts are not super. They're probably missing some things that I usually keep, like the monthly and the weekly analysis, so I can build a whole story. But just for the sake of recording, I'm only going to show you like some of the analysis because it'll get too messy and you can't really like, you know what I'm saying, understand it. So this is kind of like not the full analysis, but it is going to show you an insight of how I do trade and how I enter the market. Um, so I did see this demand zone right here. I drew a so this candle right here, I drew it from wick to wick all the way down. Saw this rejection, bullish candle coming out, closure. I was like, okay, not enough still confirmation because it could still sink down. But then there was a downward trend line that I noticed that I drew, broke it, came up, grabbed this liquidity right here, pushed all the way down to retest, came up again. And I remember I usually the first retest becomes liquidity in my experience, at least in my strategy. So I usually pull the fib from this low to this high and wait for price to come around to this 618. And if there is some cash there along that level, some liquidity, then usually it takes it out. And in this case, that was the case. So I was looking really when price was coming down here, when price was doing all this, all that, I was looking for entries really in this area right here. See where I was looking for entries. This and then I went on to the smaller time frame, and this is on the 618. So this is where I'm looking for entry on the 618, and I noticed it was a downward trend line as well. That was um that was also broken, and there was a retest, and right on the retest, so I got in once it. This is where it broke. I think I got in on this candle right here, and then I put my stop right below the previous candle on the 15 minute. And it just rose up all the way to the top. I put my TP at Asian highs, so you can see this is Asian highs. And yeah, it hit it very nice, and that was for the first trade. Now, if you look at the risk was point. So I'm gonna explain something to you guys. So these accounts, like for example, this 200K account is really a $20,000 account because the max I can lose is 20,000. So it's really a $20,000 account. So if you're doing risk on that in that sense, I'm risking 7.2% of the account to make 29.2. So the one on the right is the account would be 20K and the one on the left is 200K. So if you guys calculated using the 200K, I guess it's 0.72% and a profit of basically 3%. But realistically, what you're really doing is you're really risking 29%. I mean 7% instead of zero point 0.7 if you do it that way, which it's a cool way to see it, you know what I'm saying? Because it's more raw and you get to really see how much you're really risking. But that was the first trade, so that's how much I was risking. It was pretty decent. I mean, one to four. Second trade is on AU, and on this trade, it did not plan out. So I'm gonna show you what I'm saying. Like then again, like all these analysis don't aren't fully like showing everything, but just for the sake of the YouTube video and like the messiness. So there was an order block in here that I had or zone, I guess, that I had put, and it did tap in here, found rejection, and it was also this is also followed by an upward trend line that was broken from this zone right here. I anticipated a retest within this order block like this, something like this. So like a supply zone right here, came up, found rejection, and didn't even break. So usually, let me see, usually you like to use this one. So I found this order block in the 4 hour, and didn't even I'm tripping. That's not what I entered. I entered right here. So boom. Yeah, so look, if you look right here, these are Asian highs right about here. So once price in London came up here to grab Asian highs, I was looking for confirmation in the sell. I was like, all right, I need to find a sell. So I go to the 15 minute, then I go to the 10 minute, didn't see anything, go to the 5 minute, and then here's my confirmation right here on the 5 minute. So as you can see, London grabbed Asian high, boom, I waited for a break, and boom, I saw a break. Once this candle printed, or I think it was as it was printing, it was like an impulse. I had entered with stop loss right here, and unfortunately, it did not pan out. So yeah, I ended up getting stopped out, and the trade didn't really. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say it did end up going, but God, did that wick? Because that's a crazy wick. Um, but yeah, so I guess my problem with this trade was one, I didn't pull the fib enough higher. So usually, so you see how like impatience can cause you to like, at least for me, cause me to place fibs. Sometimes not in the best spot because like if you place a big fib, it takes a longer time to hit. If you place it closer, it's closer to the time you need to enter. So it was really I needed to place it around this area. Um, but even then, I would have entered here on the 618 and then got stopped out anyway. But so this wasn't a. I'm glad I actually got stopped out. But yeah, overall, the risk was 1.16 um, percent. So it was pretty high, I guess. Really, like 11.55% if it was doing the 20K account. So it's still pretty high. Profit was 72% or 7%. 115 lots. Yeah, that was the L I took on AU. And then on GJ, I got some break evens on GJ. So after I took this loss, I was kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of saw myself like going a little bit on tilt because of that loss. And I had tried to enter this position, but it was still a valid entry nonetheless. But it just didn't pan out. So I was looking for, I pulled a fib from this low, from this swing low to this swing high. Saw rejection. I wanted to find rejection along this area right here in the 618. I know that these pairs like this can have a huge like wick, so I was expecting it to come pretty deep. Um, and I think I got in around, let me see if I can show you exactly. So yeah, once once these were rejecting, these blue cams were rejecting, I ended up getting in because already in session, you know what I'm saying, it was London. So I got in right on this candle, put stops below these this previous candle, and eventually it did go up in price. And then this big candle right here, once this had printed, I was like, yeah, I need to start getting out. So I got out like along like this area right here, and ended up basically break even. I mean, I won 189, $60 on it, but pretty much a break even trade. And then from there, this was the monster trade that I had took. So this one granted me 16,000, and ended up me passing the challenge. So this is also on gold. Gold was blessing me. Um, so. Let's go over real quick. So basically, I followed from that previous trade, that impulse. Really, all I did was maybe why I deleted it. But I had pulled a fib from the impulse that caused it to push all the way up from this low, and then to this high right here, to this one right here. It caused it to push down, the impulse down. So once this impulse came down, and it was along the sorry about that, these sirens. But once it had touched this area, the 618 area, like that's usually like my entry area. Like that's like a zone for me. And I usually look for confluence within that area to trade for. Um yeah, but for the most part, so boom. I had got in, let's go to the 5 minute and then like a smaller time frame. Yeah, so once this bullish candle had formed, and I saw this kind of like a zone as well. I saw kind of rejection forming, like it didn't want to close beneath. So, but once this bullish candle closed, I was like, yeah, I'm looking for buys. So, boom, I had bought, put my stop loss right below this low right here, and I had gotten on two positions. So I had got in on a 10 lot and a 6 lot, so $106 a pip. And I was like, you know what? I was playing with my stops. I'm not gonna lie. Well, I had moved it one time to, I think, this low right here. But I was like, nah, let me just play it safe and just put it below the lowest low. And this wick as well also was a catalyst to grab liquidity from London. So this was also a pretty good stop loss in my opinion because I had already grabbed liquidity. So if it were to break down below, I'm pretty sure this trade would have been validated. But other than that, it looked pretty solid. It did test me a couple of times. Like I said, like this one is big push up and it's big rejection. And I came close to my TP and there's another time. So really quick, I want to show you something before I get into the trade. Like this right here was a big, oh, this right here was a big tester for me, like this big drop. Because it had a breaking level, like it had broke this level right here, this level. It was just breaking levels, and but I'm going to tell you how I managed this trade and how I managed if I was going to get out or not. So what I did was I was like, okay, I saw it dropping, right? I was like, okay, it's dropping because it wants to grab liquidity. Because if you go on the 4 hour, there's this zone right here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, as long as price respects this zone right here, we're fine. We'll probably find rejection like within here. And so what I did was like, boom, that's my zone, right? So keep in mind, I know it's kind of messy, but the middle line, like the orange lines. And once that came all the way down, but before that, I was looking at the liquidity levels, like where like it's coming down to grab money, but like where's the lowest amount of money it's gonna grab before it'll probably like be invalid. So I saw London low. I was okay, it might grab London low, grab London low. I don't know if you could see it. That's right there is London low. And then it grabbed it. And I was like, damn, it's still breaking. Like I thought it was gonna find some rejection here to push up. Started going lower. And I'm like, man, all right, where's it going down to? And I started realizing going, I was like, it was Asian low, but like this is like the last um low that I wasn't anticipating that it would break. I'm like, it probably would grab it. It could be from Asian, and at this point, it has to shoot up. Because if it went any lower, I think it'd be completely invalid, and we probably lost the trade. So, as I predicted, it did go to Asian low. It did find rejection. And once this bullish candle right here printed, I'm not sure if you can see it. Um, I was pretty more confident. And then there was news. I think there was fund rates at 2 o'clock, which absolutely just pushed this trade all the way up, as you can see on the candle, the 2 o'clock candle. It just, it literally is one 15-minute candle that's broke. It went straight to TP. And yeah, this was a beautiful trade, but this did test my psychology right here, this big drop. But then again, I managed the trade well by trying to see like where are the other zones of liquidity at if it did going to go grab some. So overall, solid trade on my part. And I'll show you guys the risk. So the risk here, you know what? I did enter in two positions, but did I not? Oh, no, no, it was only one position. I'm tripping. So on GJ it was two. So yeah, in gold it was just I got in on a 10 lot on gold. So the risk was yeah, this is correct. So the risk was 2.05%, which is really 20% of a 20K account. I mean, of a 20K account. But it's a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I was risking a big, but I was already in profit. So at this point, once I entered this trade, I was risking probably like 0.3% really. So I had profits, but this was gonna exceed my profits by a couple $100. So I was gonna be down like a couple $100 if I took a loss. So I wasn't really too upset. And but if you look at the profit, it was 8.3%, which being almost 83% on a 20K account, which what it really is. And it was for a 1 to 4, solid 1 to 4. It's crazy because I had my TP here, but then I had changed it. I was like, I might go to Asian high, um, which it did, wiped out Asian high. But then I moved it and I was like, oh, I'm already at 220K. I already have the goal. Let me just close. So I closed it manually. But no, I went exactly to where I had anticipated to go. The Asian high right here, and it boom, wiped it out and melted. So the biggest thing, I guess, a tip I could give that helped me out in my trading was I mean, obviously the psychology part was the one that I struggled with the most. You know what I'm saying? But beyond that, beyond psychology, which man did I struggle, but it was liquidity. Liquidity helps a lot. Like understanding liquidity levels helps. That's pretty much how I entered this trade and how I managed it. But that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? Those are all the trades I took. I would say four trades. So gold, it was gold, AU, GJ, and gold again. So, but six entries, and yeah, really passed in like 2 days. And yeah, man, this is it. You know what I'm saying? So we're on to phase two now. We'll have to wait 10 days for the trading days. But other than that, everything's passed. You can see the equity, you can see the equity curve. Yeah, man. I'll see you guys next one, man. About the $200 account, I might do it. I might want to postpone it and do it either in a week or two, or I'll probably do it this week. Haven't decided yet, but it is coming, and it might even be a bigger challenge with a bigger deposit. But other than that, I'll see you guys next one. You know what I'm saying? We passed it. It's crazy, man. It feels good. But I'll see you guys next one. Peace.